All right, let's get practical. Today, we're digging into gradual governance. So, you're sold on the idea, but what do you actually need to get started? What are the absolute must-haves? And what are the things that will really accelerate your success? Let's dive in.
So this is a follow-up to our last explainer. Quick recap, we talked about how gradual governance is a much smarter approach. You know, instead of trying to boil the whole ocean, you focus on the data your people are actually using.
We've covered the what, which is great. But the big question now, the one you're probably asking is how? How do you get your organization ready for this? What needs to be in place before you even think about starting? Well, it all begins with what you've already got.
And here's the core idea. You're not starting from scratch. Success with gradual governance comes from capitalizing on what you already have: your technology, your processes, and your people. These are the assets that can put you on the fast track.
We're going to break these assets down into two categories. First up, the prerequisites. These are the absolute non-negotiable foundations. I mean, think of it as the bedrock. If this isn't solid, the whole thing is just not going to work.
These three prerequisites are like a three-legged stool. They all have to be there. You need an established governance framework, you need the modern technical capacity to support it, and you need the right people in dedicated roles to make it happen. Let's break each one down.
Okay, first, and this is so important, gradual governance is not a replacement for your existing data governance. It's a complement to it. You can't use this new agile approach to fix a strategy that doesn't even exist. You've got to have those basic policies, roles, and processes already in place for this to build on.
Prerequisite number 2 is all about your tech. And the message here could not be clearer. Your old school traditional data warehouse, it just can't keep up. It wasn't built for the kind of flexible, agile data exploration that this approach really thrives on.
And this table just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at the difference. Data warehouses are rigid. They're slow. They're expensive. They really struggle with the raw, messy data that your analysts want to get their hands on. But cloud or hybrid systems, they're built for this stuff. They're flexible, they're fast, they're more cost-effective, and they are designed to scale. That's exactly what you need.
And finally, let's talk about people. This is not a side project. You can't just tack this on to someone's already full plate. If you don't have dedicated, full-time people driving this, your operational governance just stalls out. The whole thing loses steam before it even gets going.
And the data steward role in particular is absolutely mission critical. I mean, they're the engine that makes operational governance run. And as we're about to see, they're essential for bringing a data by design mentality to life, making sure you're thinking about data right from the very beginning of a project.
Okay, so once you have that solid foundation in place, then we can talk about the fun stuff, the accelerators. If the prerequisites are the launchpad, think of these as the rocket boosters. They're what will make your initiative really take off and start delivering value way faster. The first accelerator is this really powerful concept called data by design. Basically, it means you stop trying to clean up messy data after the fact. Instead, you build quality and purpose right into your systems from the get-go. You make sure that data is born ready for analysis. This just slashes the time you spend on documentation and prep work later.
Now, the second accelerator is a metric, and it's called the exploration ratio. Picture your data team's time as a bar, just like this one. How much of their day is spent just churning out the same old reports versus how much is spent on genuine exploration, hunting for new value? The answer to that is critical.
So ask yourself this question. Seriously, are your teams just buried under a mountain of routine dashboards and reports? Or do they have real, protected time to just explore, to use the data catalog to go hunting for new insights? Because if they're constantly swamped, they can't possibly take advantage of the very assets that gradual governance is designed to unlock for them.
So, let's bring this all home. Having these prerequisites and accelerators isn't just a checklist. It's about having a realistic understanding of your organization's data maturity and your overall strategy. And let's be crystal clear about this. This quote says it all. Gradual governance is not a magic wand. It can't fix a broken data strategy. It can't make up for a low level of data maturity. It's a powerful approach, for sure, but it is not a miracle cure.
However, and this is the big takeaway here, if you do have that foundation, if you've got those prerequisites locked down and you're leaning into the accelerators, then gradual governance can be totally transformative. It can bring your entire data strategy into sharp focus and unlock incredible value.
So before you start building, you have to check your foundation. Is your organization really ready to capitalize on its assets? Once you know the answer is yes, then you're ready for the next phase. Join us for our next explainer, where we're going to lay out the entire operational blueprint for putting gradual governance into practice. We'll see you then.